What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my top 10 games of 2017 stream. It is 2018, so we've kind of bled over a little bit. So things have been a little crazy here for me. We've been painting, we've been buying cars, but I'm back. We're here. We're streaming game number 4, and this is Persona 5. This is a really good one. It's a really special one for me. I'm really excited to show you guys this game. It's really cool because my 2017 gaming New Year's resolution was to play more games that were out of my comfort zone. And Persona 5 was definitely one of those things where Persona was one of those series that I'd always heard of, but never stood out to me, never spoke to me, never appealed to me, just because I never thought that I would get into it. That being said, I grew up playing JRPGs and just kind of fell out of it when I got older. And so Persona 5 definitely was like a call back to my childhood. And it's a JRPG in the truest sense, where it's like you are a high schooler in Japan and you find the ability to summon demons. If you've never played the Persona games, it's all about summoning demons in a Pokemon kind of style way. So it's like it's very much just like, hey, it's Pokemon but with demons. If you look at my playtime, it took me over 100 hours to beat the game originally. It's not for the faint of heart in terms of how long it takes to beat. It took me pretty much all summer to beat it. But it's worth it in terms of how well the story's written. The characters are phenomenal. You can't really have a good JRPG without a good cast of characters, and Persona 5 delivers pretty much in every single way. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Persona series, it is, like I said, you're summoning demons in a Pokemon-style way, but you're mixing half, I don't want to say dating sim, but like a social sim, where you're maintaining relationships with all these different characters, and then you use those relationships. They'll give you different perks and bonuses and things like that you can then take into battle with you. Which it's, like I said, it's a traditional it's a traditional turn-based JRPG. So because my saves, I thought I had a save that was about halfway through the game. But it looks like that's not the case, so we're going to just start all over again because I don't want to spoil anything. Atlas, the developers of the game, also have a pretty weird streaming recording rule that after a certain point in the game you can't stream anything for spoilers.
Similarities between characters or events to persons living or dead in your world are purely coincidental. Only those who have agreed to the above have the privilege of partaking in this game.
It's been a while. I haven't, obviously, it's been a long time since I played this game,
sealed.
But then it's also been a while since I've started the game from the beginning.
The world is not as it should be. It's filled with distortion, and ruin can no longer be avoided. Those who oppose fate and desire change. From time to time, they were referred to as tricksters. You are the trickster. Now is the time to rise against the abyss of distortion.
So, the Persona series, as far as I know, it's always dealt with, like, demons, and it's always dealt with, like, topics about, like, the purity and, like, the goodness of mankind. So, Persona 5's, I guess, gimmick or the purpose of Persona 5, or the theme of Persona 5, is changing hearts of the those who are evil. So the majority of the game you'll be infiltrating the hearts of those who have distorted and twisted thoughts, and you'll be making them pure again, making them confess their crimes and their sins and things like that. And then obviously the stakes escalate. So the first thing that stands out, obviously, is the soundtrack and the overall style of the game. The whole game is done as a heist kind of theme, and if you've ever watched like the Ocean's movies and things like that, you'll instantly get that vibe where you're breaking into these vaults and banks, and it's a really unique, cool style that I think makes the game stand out over any other JRPG. Obviously, there's a whole lot of anime influences. There's a lot of these pre-rendered, pre-designed anime sequences, and they're really cool. They're actually also planning to release a Persona 5 themed anime sometime in Japan next year. I'm really excited for that because the animation during the animated sequences are really good.
This is our only chance.
Stay calm. You can get away now. We'll retrieve the briefcase on our end.
Alright, so this is the tutorial part of the game.
Don't worry about us. Just concentrate on getting away.
Oh.
But I have to say, showing yourself above that crowd earlier was an excellent move. Nice work as always, Joker.
Skull wouldn't pull it off that smoothly.
This happens because you have no sense for aesthetics.
Once again, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Alex and I downloaded the soundtrack and we listened to it pretty much every day.
The enemy's focus is on him.
It's probably my favorite video game soundtrack to come out definitely in the last year, but it's probably one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Stop right there!
Just because it's so funky. So, as you go through the game, you'll kind of realize, you know, that different people have different manifestations for their own corruption. So, to kind of avoid spoilers, the character that we're in now, you won't. The story begins about halfway through the story. So you're in someone whose manifestation of evil is a casino. And so that usually plays into whatever character's personality and you know, what their crimes are.
Everyone else?
So, very traditional JRPG, turn-based. The mechanics do get a little bit more in-depth. You're not just going back and forth, attacking. I bring up Pokemon a lot because it is very similar to Pokemon in that, you know, each persona has a type and it's weak and strong against different types. So you're playing that rock, paper, scissors game where you're, okay, well this persona is this type, so I'm going to use this type against it or this type of moves against it.
Joker, behind you. Go through.
Alright.
All right.
Come on, man.
I'm okay.
No problems on my end.
Where'd they go, damn it? I can't confirm the intruder's location.
Huh? What?
So there's some stealth mechanics. Obviously, you're infiltrating, and to I guess clarify, you are inside of someone's heart at this point. You kind of uncover this power to traverse between dimensions that allows you to go into people's minds and their hearts and basically change their desires. It's pretty convoluted, but the game does a pretty good job of explaining it. So obviously, the armed guards and the enemies and stuff like that are the host's defenses against, you know, obviously being changed.
He's not alone. Find them and kill them all.
Something wrong? The exit should be up ahead.
You're there.
That's just how it is. After that commotion, the bottom floor is completely closed off. Hey, can you make it?
Over there. There's nowhere to run.
See ya.
Huh, what a reckless, you know that? Enemies here?
What's wrong?
These readings. It can't be.
What happened?
An ambush? Joker, can you handle this?
Joker!
Oh no!
Capture him! Let's go! Go, go, go! Get over there!
Busted.
Just struggling. Suspect secured.
Didn't expect to find some kid. You have your teammate to thank for this. You were sold out.
Suspect confirmed. Cuff it.
So that's the setup. Like I said, it starts kind of in the middle towards about 3/4 of the way through the game. And so the majority of the game is told through flashbacks that take place through this interrogation.
Guess the drug was too strong.
Wake him up.
No dozing off.
From a technical standpoint, the graphics aren't like amazing, but it definitely has a really cool artistic flair. Once you kind of go through the menus and stuff like that, once you're kind of they take the training wheels off and you're kind of free to explore. The game has a really great sense of style.
Thinking it can be used as video evidence? So you're not that dumb. Which is good. Because we get to take as much time as we need.
Japanese cops don't play around, man. They're hardcore.
Obstruction of justice, blackmail, defamation, possession of weapons. Manslaughter too, yeah? Talk about the works. To think that all those crimes were led by a punk like this. And you seem to be enjoying every second of it. Huh?
We'll do normal.
You should know your place.
I played through the game originally through on normal, and it's not terribly hard, but there are some parts where you get stuck, and you know, in a traditional JRPG sense, you kind of have to take a minute and start grinding and get your level back up. But the game does a good job of using like network connectivity to kind of show you where other people who are playing the game are, like if they're a higher level than you, or if they maxed out certain social stats and things like that before you. So that way you kind of get a good idea of how well you're doing throughout the game.
Responsibility for their actions.
There's nothing worse than playing a game and sinking 60, 70 hours and then realizing, oh shit, I need to go divert 5, 10 hours to go do this thing before I can progress any further. So I thought it did a good job as far as not being too hardcore. And like I said, these kind of games, even though I kind of grew up with them, are not in my wheelhouse. Oh geez, I don't know what a last name. Let's do Cobex Jones, because that's a Japanese name. But I thought Persona 5 fit right in as far as like it wasn't too difficult, it wasn't too easy. The difficulty scales, and
Excuse me, but
you know, you're able to change it at any point in the game. So I mean, if you're at a point where you're stuck, you're not stuck and have to start over. So I was able to get through it. That was probably the first JRPG that I've beaten from start to finish in a very long time.
Just let me through. It's urgent. There's something I need to confirm with the suspect. Nijima-san, I believe this case is no longer in your jurisdiction. Besides...
You prosecutor signed Nijima? There's a call from your director. Hurry.
We'll go ahead
and
and skip through this, because one thing about Persona is that there is a lot of dialogue. So I want you guys to see as much of the game as possible. You know, there's not much in here as far as story. You're being interrogated, you've been caught. Like I said, this is about halfway through the story, so you're gaining kind of national recognition for your ability to change hearts. Obviously, your identity is still unknown. You're kind of doing it all anonymously. But the game kind of will introduce the supernatural elements kind of early on as far as how you get your abilities. Okay, so that's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. We will be arriving in Shibuya shortly. This is the last stop for this line. Please transfer here for all subway lines. The doors to your left will open.
So in that interrogation, they kind of hinted at the fact that you had a troubled past before, so this is a flashback. Long story short, you get into trouble with the law, and you end up having to move to a new city, transfer to a new school, and this is kind of a flashback to that situation where basically he quote-unquote assaulted a high-ranking politician, and so they put him on probation, made him move to a new city, and start a new life, basically.
That's what's going on.
Here comes the supernatural stuff. The game takes place over the course of a year, and you kind of just do the day, you know, do each, you'll complete task day by day. So you only have a certain amount of time that you can complete stuff in. You know, you'll receive deadlines and things for certain quests and obviously the main story missions. But other than that, you kind of have free reign as far as where you can go and how you can go about leveling yourself up. But I'd say a good 60% of the game is spent doing like real world stuff. Just kind of, you know, being a teenager in Japan. Alright, sorry about that. Looks like we're having some sort of issues. This is my first time using Facebook Live, so if it keeps screwing up on me, I might just have to switch back to Twitch. Anyway, so we've arrived. Obviously, this is in the past, but the world in Persona 5 is broken up into different little hubs, and so you are, you know, you're kind of given free reign to explore. There's a bunch of different shops and different locations, and each one of them, one of the things I like about Persona 5 is each one of them has a purpose. You know, most of them. I mean, there are some that, you know, obviously you go to just for fun, but the majority of them are serve some sort of purpose into giving you some sort of stat boost or increasing your relationship level with certain characters and things like that. I think this is where his house is. Yeah. Alright, so we just found out that Sojiro, our new caretaker, has a coffee shop that he runs, and it's right here. It's a coffee and curry shop. I'm gonna fast forward through all this stuff. Sojiro's pretty cold to you from the beginning. He's, you know, he knows you're a troublemaker, so he's pretty much like, stay out of trouble, or else I'll kick you out or report you back to the police. This is your quarters, your bedroom essentially, and so he kind of just tasks you with cleaning it up. Like, all right, you want to live here, you got to clean it up. Shelf with old books. Alright, start cleaning. So, and then time will pass. So you'll do certain activities and they'll take up a certain amount of time. And so sometimes it's a big part of the game is time management and being able to maximize how much time you have in a day. And so you may need to do, you know, you may need to study for your exams, which will increase your knowledge. And then, you know, you want to be able to balance that with any other thing you can do. Because straight up leveling up and training your characters takes pretty much all day. So it's not just as simple as, alright, well, I'm just gonna level up my character, get better gear, and get better personas. It's, you know, you've got the social stats and relationships you need to maintain too, because as you improve the relationships with your teammates and friends, you'll unlock different abilities and perks and stuff like that that really come in handy.
I'm gonna head back then.
Sleeping in your bed will move you forward one day. Yep. So obviously the last thing you want to do is go to sleep when you still have more time. Now that being said, the game will force you to go to bed. So like certain activities or like certain story beats will take an entire day. So there's a lot of times where you'll just get a whole bunch of story and like, okay, well, now I gotta go to bed, and you'll do it the next day. It can be a little frustrating because they kind of stack some of those days during the more story heavy sections. But I think they do a good job of ultimately balancing it out, where you'll have pretty much a month full of time where you can run around and do whatever you want, and then maybe about a week or two of, you know, story heavy stuff. So we're reliving the night that got him into trouble.
How dare you crawl? Stop it! Let me. No!
Don't give me that shit.
Ow! Please stop!
I can't ignore this. I have to save her. So, yeah, he steps in.
What a waste of time.
you're worth causing me trouble? Huh?
I'll call the police!
Call them if you want. The police are my bitches. They're not gonna take you seriously.
No! Stop!
The police are my bitches.
Someone called the cops, huh? Get in the car. Incompetent fools like you just need to shut your mouths and follow where I steer this country. What are you looking at? Get out of my
He just looks like a
face.
douche.
This ain't a show. Get lost, kid. See? This is all because you're so damn slow. Get in the car.
Obviously, the dialogue and the writing is all translated from Japanese, and so you'll kind of get the sense that some of the sections, they kind of get a little long-winded. I don't know if that has to do with the translation or if the writing's just goofy. So that app we found before is still popping up. I wonder what it could be. I thought I deleted it. And this is where it gets creepy.
Trickster, welcome to my velvet room.
That's Igor. He's a Persona mainstay. I've never played any of the other Persona games, but I know well enough that he is the one consistent in the game.
Come to, inmate.
So it's hard to really describe what the Velvet Room is. It's kind of like the manifestation of the main character's own, like, imperfections. Obviously, they've established that he's a flawed character and that he's done wrong, quote-unquote. So the game has a lot to do with redemption, and you know, he kind of embarks on this mission to redeem other people in order to redeem himself. It's kind of soapboxy, kind of preachy, but you know, the themes are pretty cool. It also tackles a lot of taboo subjects in school.
Jeez.
Do me a favor and behave yourself, all right? Don't get me wrong. I don't care what happens.
Yeah, Sojo,
Just don't cause me.
Sojo's kind of a dick at the beginning. Like, you're a troublemaker. So he views you as a troublemaker, and he's gonna treat you like a dick.
To reiterate, just so
Kawakami.
immediately be expelled if you cause any problems. Honestly, I hesitated on accepting someone like you, but there were some circumstances on our side. You might have done a variety of things in hiding in your hometown, but you will behave yourself here. If you are thrown out from our school, there will be no place for you to go. Keep that in mind.
It was also establishing that
Teacher in charge of your
there's no you know, there's no margin for error here, so you kind of realize that the stakes are high, and obviously what you end up doing is kind of considered illegal. Obviously, breaking into people's hearts and changing their hearts is not something that's exactly considered legal.
I'm Sadayo Kawakami.
Miss Kawakami.
Here's your student ID. Be sure to read the school rules. Any violations will send you straight to the guidance office. And if by chance you cause any problems, I won't be able to protect you at all.
That's not true.
That is your promise, yes, Principal Kobayakawa?
Mm-hmm. He is responsible for all his actions.
But really though, why me? There should have been better candidates.
Yeah, she's not thrilled to be your teacher, but I made her thrilled to be my teacher, if you get what I mean. Yeah, they're treating you like some kind of nuisance. Yeah, just like you.
What a troublesome situation.
I can't believe they pushed someone with a record on me. A male teacher would be better suited for this.
That's just sexist.
Why in the world was someone like that admitted here?
Who knows? It was the principal's decision. I was told that it's for the school's reputation.
I would have thought that my volleyball team has contributed more than enough to cover that.
That's certainly true.
Be careful, okay? Then again, if anything were to happen, I'd kick out a student like that right away.
I keep wishing that he'd just end up not coming to school. Still, that isn't something I should be saying as a teacher.
Yeah, there's other things you shouldn't be doing as a teacher, but you did it anyway.
Well, I should be returning to practice.
Oh, right. The tournament's coming up, isn't it?
Having such high expectations placed on you by others is quite a problem in itself. We'll have to work hard to make up for the track team, too.
Yes, that's true.
So like I said, you spend the majority of the game cultivating relationships with different characters, and Miss Kawakami is one of those characters, and you can seduce her and make her your girlfriend, and I did it, because who doesn't want to seduce their teacher in high school? Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. A lot of story. Definitely a lot of story. Not an easy game to stream.
The inbound train will soon be arriving at platform number 1. Please wait behind the yellow line.
Well, that's not good.
I don't have a visual yet.
See, obviously, there's something supernatural that's afoot.
Direct footage from the accident. According to the police, the engineer's life was not in danger despite his injuries. After questioning, even he could not explain his high speed when approaching the station. No further comments were made. Police are still looking for a plausible motive.
It's less of an operating accident and more of a crime of the company and the government. Site inspectors apparently reported all of this 6 months ago. The deterioration of the tracks and the ATC. Seems a railway company and the Ministry of Transport both turned a blind eye to the truth. There's no way they can hide. This will go all the way to the top.
All the way.
Now on to our main story. With this derailment accident, as well as other recent incidents of unknown motive, concern is spreading among the general public. Just what could be causing such a drastic change so suddenly in these people? SNN has
Everything's linked. That's what you're thinking, correct?
Yup.
Well, fine. Talk about a gruesome accident.
I should write down what happened today in my diary. That's how you save your game. By writing in your diary. It's coming from downstairs. Oh yeah. Let's do pause. Yo, it's me. This guy's like not secure in his masculinity at all. Like, I don't even like having guys in the front seat. I don't save guys' phone numbers. Like, dude, it's alright. It's fine. I promise. I'm not into you like that. I'm into Miss Kawakami like that. Alright, now time to go to sleep. Like I said, especially in the early going, it is very story heavy. So you'll be doing a lot of, hey, story, 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 go to sleep. Story, 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 go to sleep. Story, 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 go to sleep. And once it opens up and it gives you control over where you can go and what you can do, it's a lot more open. You have a lot more choice. Time to delete it again. So I don't know if they addressed it in the first encounter in the Velvet Room, but essentially you find out that you've got the power to go into the metaverse, and that's what the app kind of hints at. You use the app to go into the metaverse, which allows you to infiltrate other people's hearts, and then you fight them and get them to change their mind, and that's the gist of the game. Curry and coffee. It's a weird combination, but country boy. You don't really say much about your past other than you got in trouble. So I guess you do come from the country. Alright, so how do I get to the... Yeah, you get to the station. Get on the train.
Shibuya. This is Shibuya.
And obviously, as you get access to more areas, you can go to different, lines. And I want to say I gotta go this way. Yeah. And then, no. I remember this part was like the hardest part for me, just because it was like, hey, get to the train that gets you to the school. Right, I have to go up here. And then I gotta go through some building. Once you, like, unlock it, it's pretty much just like, hey. Like, you can auto-travel anywhere, pretty much. So we go in here, and then here's the train to the school. Yeah, fast traveling is your friend in this game because it is hard to remember where to go.
Oh, man.
Aw, snap. Same.
Good morning. You want me to give you a ride to school? You're gonna be late.
Creepy.
Sure, thank you.
Do you need a lift too?
Huh? Nah.
Yikes. She's not digging it.
Damn it! Screw that pervy teacher. Pervy teacher? Huh?
Ryuji! Ryuji's my boy.
What do you want?
Vulgar boy. He's my boy, but he is a vulgar boy.
You planning on ratting me out to Kamoshida?
Kamoshida?
Huh? In that car just now, it was Kamoshida. He does whatever the hell he wants. Who does he think he is, the king of the castle? Don't you agree?
It's hinting at something.
No, I mean...
This game isn't exactly subtle in its presentation. It's very much like,
wait,
hey, here's this thing. Here's this major theme.
You're from
It's smart, right? It's clever.
You messing with
Yeah, Ryuji, my boy. Cool. Now we're friends. We're two outcast friends. What you kind of see there is they experience some sort of like warp where they were like briefly in the metaverse. So we're flashback to the present. We're being interrogated.
There was a terrible subway accident that day.
Yada yada yada. So basically, what's going on outside of the school is that people are having like psychotic breakdowns and basically mentally shutting down. That's what happened with the guy in the train, in that his brain just like totally lost function of his body, and that's what caused the train to crash. So that's kind of what's going on outside of the school, and then obviously they're just now about to discover that there's this alternate dimension we can travel to and from. So here we are. This is where the game starts to get good.
We didn't come the wrong way, though. Yeah, this should be right. What's going on here? I guess we'll just have to go and ask.
Mm. You're not exactly a silent protagonist, but you might as well be.
That's weird. Where's the school? It should be. It said Shujin on the gate. What's going on here? Out of service? Where'd we end up? The sign was for the school, right? Jeez, you freaked me out. Who are you? You a student?
Yes, I'm clearly a student.
Man, your costume's impressive. Is that armor real? Come on, don't just stand there, say something.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Hey.
Not a good look.
You really think so? Shit's real. Calm down. Time out, man. We gotta run. Stop standing around and run. Yeah. What's with these guys? You're gonna break my bones, damn it! The hell you think you're...
Take them away!
And we got trapped.
Hey! Wake up!
Alright, so we're trapped in the dungeon. Obviously, the goal is to try and find a way out.
Come on, man.
Torturing and stuff, right?
Hey. Huh?
Like, just the soundtrack just reminds you of like a heist movie.
Be glad that your punishment has been decided upon. Your charge is unlawful entry. Thus, you will be sentenced to
It's a
death.
pretty steep penalty for unlawful entry.
What?
No one's allowed to do as they please in my
Oh, hey.
castle.
He looks familiar.
Huh? Wait. Is that you, Kamoshida?
I thought it was some petty thief, but to think it'd be you, Sakamoto. Are you trying to disobey me again? It looks like you haven't learned your lesson at all, huh? And you brought a friend this time, because you can't do anything for yourself.
This ain't funny, you asshole!
Is that how you speak to a king? It seems you don't understand the position you're in at all. Not only did you sneak into my castle, you committed the crime of insulting me, the king. The punishment for that is death.
Damn.
It's time for an execution. Take him out.
Stop it! God damn it! I ain't down for this shit! Come on, we're out of here!
Just go! Get out of here! These guys are serious!
Oh? Running away, are we? What a heartless friend you are.
He ain't a friend!
Damn.
Come on, hurry up and go!
What's the matter? Too scared to run away? Pathetic scum isn't worth my time. I'll focus on this one's execution. Take this! Lowly scum! Useless pest!
Hey, he's got his nice little king robe and his king pink thong.
Where'd your energy from earlier go? A peasant like you isn't worth beating. I'll have you killed right now. What? Don't you dare tell me you don't know who I am. That look in your eyes irritates me. Hold him there. After the peasant, it's his turn to die.
No, I don't want to die!
This is truly an unjust game. Your chances of winning are almost none. But if my voice is reaching you, there may yet be a possibility open to you.
What's the matter? Are you simply going to watch? Are you forsaking him to save yourself? Death awaits him if you do nothing. Was your previous decision a mistake then? Very well. I have heeded your resolve. Vow to me. I vow. Thou art I. Thou who art willing to perform all sacrilegious acts for thine own justice. Call upon my name and release thy rage. Show the strength of thy will to ascertain all on thine own. Wilt thou be chained to hell itself?
Execute him! What was that? You desire to be killed that much? Fine.
Oh my god. Aw, snap. Oh yeah. Student by day, demon wielding badass by night. Ryuji's like, what the fuck? I mean, same.
I am the pillager of Twilight, Arsene!
What the?
I am the rebel soul that resides within you. If you so desire, I shall consider granting you the power to break through this crisis.
Yeah. Let me get that power.
Very well.
Who the hell are you? Guards!
by killing that one. You'll learn the true strength of my men.
Alright, we gotta fight. So every character is a different persona. So obviously you get the starter, Arsene, who's badass. But each one can be captured, similarly to how you capture a Pokemon in a Pokemon game. Yada yada yada, so skills.
Go down. Swing your blade. This power of mine is yours. Kill them however you want. Run wild to your heart's content. Persona!
Ooh, got him. One shot. Boom, boom, boom.
I leveled up. What? What was that just now?
I look like a badass now.
You little.
You like that, you son of a bitch? You mean this? Okay, it's locked. Damn you! Hey, what was that just now? And your clothes? Whoa, it went back to normal.
You bastards!
God, this is effing nuts. Anyways, let's scram. You lead the way.
The game will kind of hint on it, but obviously this version of Kamoshida is like the twisted, demented version of him. Basically, it reflects the content of his heart, which obviously is not a very good thing. So you'll learn a little bit more about Kamoshida as we progress through the story.
What was that?
Okay.
All right. For real?
So the metaverse area, basically the moments where you're breaking into somebody's heart, are set up kind of like your traditional dungeons, where there's different puzzles and enemies and stuff like that you can fight. Obviously, in the early going, it's a little simplified, but they get really in depth the later you get into the game. Almost negatively so. Like, I feel like some of the later dungeons tend to drag on a whole lot longer than they need to. The Kamoshida one was one of my favorites, just because I thought it blended story and mechanics really well. Where the other ones tend to be a little bit more story intense. The best moments of Persona, I think, are the moments where you are given free reign. You've got like the 30 days or however long it takes before your deadline, and you can kind of go about your business freely. I think the game is at its worst when it is kind of hamstringing you and forcing you to do certain things, which it does from time to time, and that's kind of I would say those are probably kind of the worst moments of the game. So right now, I am looking for a way out. Oh, yeah, no. Let's not deal with these guards just yet.
Oh. And again. Whoa!
Oh, hey. I guess they decided to go search. So you see a common theme in Kamoshida's palace is torture. And that kind of hints to who he is as a person, as a teacher. So Kamoshida, if you don't remember, was the volleyball teacher, or the volleyball coach.
Yeah. What the hell?
Hey! Hey!
What is this thing?
You're not soldiers of this castle, right? Get me out of here! Look, the key's right
It's Morgana!
We're trying to get the hell out of here.
Another mainstay in the Persona series isn't Morgana per se, but it is the animal sidekick.
You obviously look like an enemy too.
The cute, adorable animal sidekick. The cute, adorable animal sidekick.
Help me out! I am not a cat. Say that again and I'll make you regret it.
They're catching up already. Shit, there's still no service. Ain't there any way to contact someone outside? How the hell do we get out?
Hey, you too! Wanna know where the exit is? Let me out, and I'll take you there. You don't want to get caught and executed, right? I'm not lying. It's the truth.
This thing sounds like it's all talk.
I always like how it keeps the date and the day of the week up there. Like, hey, it's April 11th and it's a Monday. Monday morning. Just infiltrating the corrupted palace of an evil teacher. No big deal.
If you don't hurry, they'll catch you.
Fine.
Freedom tastes so great.
Now where's the exit, you monster cat?
Don't call me a cat. I am Morgana.
Shut up and hurry it up. You want to be locked up again?
Oh, all right. Sheesh. Follow me and stay quiet.
Kawakami.
Jeez.
Jones-kun. Day one and I'm already skipping school. Off to a good start. It's a derpy ass statue, man.
Well,
for real?
The sound bites in this game are terrific too. That Ryuji for real, like I should probably make that my text tone actually. I think I might want to do that.
Oh shit! Oh shit, it's them!
you amateur. Stay still. Hey, you. You can fight, right? Let's go. Come.
Yeah! Morgana's a badass.
You got one of those things too?
We will promptly shut them up. Damn shadows. They've taken up intercept positions. It means they're holding nothing back and are serious to kill us. I'll back you up. So fight like your life depends on it. Let's go! I knew you were an amateur. This is how you fight! Strike at an enemy's weakness to knock them down. Use that opening to strike again!
Oh hey,
That's the most basic.
it's like Pokemon.
Remember it well.
So yeah, it's pretty much rock, paper, scissors. So enemies have certain weaknesses. If you exploit those weaknesses, they you knock them down and you actually get the ability to attack again. So it's a completely useful tactic. Sheena, why are you crying? So yeah, so you can kind of examine them. Let's see. So the and also the thing with your persona obviously is that they have weaknesses too. So if an enemy uses an ability that you're weak against, they get multiple attacks against you, which obviously is not a good thing. So like Arsene is weak against ice attack and bless attacks, but he's strong against curse abilities.
Another tool for our mission. Oh. Whoa. Hey.
Yeah, medicine.
Okay. Now then.
Yada yada yada. Auto recover. Here we go.
No.
Oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
Come on, man.
What did you say?
Let's fight. Oh, it's a cute little pixie.
Persona! There! Too slow.
Nice one. I can't land a hit.
You're mine.
Oh, hey, it's weak to curse. So, in addition to getting the extra ability, you obviously do more damage. So it's like damage boost plus the extra attack. So it's really easy to chain stuff together while you're continually knocking enemies down.
This way.
Oh, finally, we're saved. It's not opening. Did you trick us, you jerk?
Don't jump to conclusions. Over here.
Hey, wait up! Where are we supposed to get out from here? There aren't even any windows.
Ugh, amateur. This is the most basic of basics. That's right. As I thought, you're a natural at this. It leads all the way outside.
I see. Then we just gotta get that metallic mesh off. And a 1, and a... Ah! Ow. Oh, crap. The enemy didn't hear us, did they? Seriously, we're finally getting out of here!
You should wait on celebrating until you actually get out. Now get going!
But what about you?
There's something that I still have to do. We're going our separate ways.
Thanks, Morgana. We'll meet again.
You've got manners. Be careful on your way. Those two seem useful. Especially the frizzy-haired one, if my judgment's right.
Little foreboding. So, we've left the temple, and now we're going back to the real world.
Did we make it?
You have returned to the real world. Welcome back.
Huh? Return? Does that mean we got away? I don't know what to think anymore. What was all that anyways? That castle and Kamoshida and that weird cat? What the hell's going on?
What's with the yelling? Are you students of
Yup.
Shujin?
And we skipped school. Sure did.
Huh? No. We were trying to get to school, and we ended up at this weird castle.
Oh, God.
What? Hand over your bag. You better not be doing any drugs.
Why would you think that?
Are you his friend? Then you should go to school. Take him with you.
Are you doing drugs?
Like I'm trying to say, I don't know what's going on either.
Like Ryuji, come on.
Passed by Shujin on our way here. There was nothing out of the ordinary about it. If you spout any more nonsense, I'll contact your school. Is that what you want?
Come on, say something. That's not what I meant. Wait a sec. Is that guy for real? Fine, I'm going.
A Minister of Transport announcing his resignation.
Yada yada yada. Just letting you know there's more nefarious things going on in the background.
Is this for real? I'm sure we came the same way. What's going on here?
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you. We received a call from the police.
Y'all are boned.
Damn cops snitched on us after all.
It's rare not to see you alone. Where were you roaming around until this time?
Okay.
So you have no intention of giving an honest answer?
What's this about a castle?
Oh, hey.
Kamoshida?
You seem so carefree, Sakamoto. Quite a difference from when you did morning practice for the track team.
Shut up! It's your fault that it...
How dare you speak that way to Mr. Kamoshida? There's not much leeway left for you, you know?
He's the one that provoked me.
Do you really want to be expelled? In any case, you'll have to explain yourself. Follow me.
What? This is bullshit!
Come now. I should have been more considerate too. Let's just say that we were both to blame.
Well, if you say so. Still, you're coming with me. It's undeniable that you're extremely late.
Fine.
By the way, you're that new transfer student, correct?
Cobb X Jones. Yeah.
Have we met somewhere? That's right.
I remember now. Well, I'll overlook this just for today. I'm sure you've heard from the principal, but cause any trouble and you'll be expelled. Understand? At any rate, hurry up and go to the faculty office. I'm sure Ms. Kawakami's tired of waiting. Good luck trying to enjoy your new school life.
New school life / being able to summon demons. So basically, the interrogation reveals that Kamoshida was the first target for changing the heart. So as the story progresses, Kamoshida eventually gives you an ultimatum, and it comes down to, I'm going to expel you. You have a deadline. It gives you your first deadline of the game, and then you have to infiltrate, go back into the palace, infiltrate, and change Kamoshida's heart. Basically make him confess his crimes. You'll kind of discover that he's been torturing the students on his volleyball team, basically making them, overworking them, punishing them when they do wrong. It drives one of the students to attempt to kill herself, which is one of the more serious moments of the game. One thing Persona 5 does kind of similarly to Hellblade, I don't want to really compare them directly, is that it addresses things like depression and suicide, and also, things like, irresponsible, teacher, and inappropriate behavior in the school, and all sorts of different topics. So, once you move past Kamoshida, the stakes slowly raise. You'll take on bigger and more sinister people, and eventually change their hearts. So it really makes Persona, it's heavy-handed in its storytelling. It tells a lot of story. It's almost long-winded, so it's definitely a hard game to stream. It's not a game that you can sit down and watch and truly appreciate. You got to sit down and play it and invest 100 hours into. It's not like a Skyrim or a Fallout where you can say, oh yeah, man, I just spent 100 hours just exploring, and it is still a very linear game. You're still going from point A to point B, day by day, doing different things, raising your stats, building relationships with characters that you'll come to love and appreciate. The writing in this game is, it's really funny, it's really good, it really makes you remember the characters. I'm sure if you ask anybody who played Persona 5, they'll tell you who their favorite character was, who they chose to romance. You can romance multiple characters in the game, so it's definitely a memorable game in terms of its storytelling, writing, and its gameplay. It's a throwback to good JRPGs. It doesn't overcomplicate things. Eventually you'll gain the ability to fuse different personas and build them into stronger ones. But other than that, it doesn't get any more complicated than what you saw in the gameplay. You're basically targeting enemies' weaknesses, avoiding your weaknesses, healing up, using different abilities, changing out different party members to kind of best suit your needs. But it's if you aren't a fan of JRPGs, I wouldn't recommend it, because it is definitely as JRPG as they come. But if you're anything like me and you have enjoyed them in the past, it's definitely worth giving Persona 5 a try, because I was floored by how stylish this game was, how fun it was, how good the music was, and really just like looking back, it's probably the game that I will remember probably the most fondly, just because of the characters and the personality of the game. But that's all I've got for you tonight, or today. I was planning on doing all 4 of my final 4 games, but I don't have time to do it. So I'm going to start up with game number 3. Game number 3 is Horizon Zero Dawn. It's another great PlayStation game that came out this year. Any other year, it would have been my game of the year, but because of 2017 and how amazing it was and how many great games came out, it's number 3, and that's I can't wait to play it for you. If you've played it, you know how good it is, and if you haven't, you'll get to see it. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like us here on Facebook.com/RedToothGames. I'm also on Twitter @RedToothGames, and also on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day.